What's going on, everybody? What's happening? I feel like this is looking like real dark for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, good evening, ladies, gents, and whomsoever shall join. Been crazy around here, man. Weather. What's up, Leaf? Maya, good evening. How y'all doing today? Got a few topics on my show card for y'all. Oh my goodness, I didn't even think I was gonna be able to get on tonight. Last night it was all day yesterday was a bad windstorm. Um, Power had went out around here. Now this place got a generator that came on, but then internet was out pretty much all day. It actually happened like as soon as I finished shipping. I was nervous about coming in this morning to ship. I'm like, man, I hope this is like back on, because then it would have just been so complicated to get everything and go back home. And the one good thing I was thinking about though was that I said to myself, well, I can print the labels at home for the most part because I sell the same stuff. I know how much everything weighs, so I can create all the labels in Pirate Ship for the most part, except for some of the stuff I sold on eBay. I can create them all at home, and then I could have just printed them out. But I came in, it was the internet was back on. Man, I seen whole trees that fell over, damaged houses, stores, pulled down power lines. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. And then the internet went out here again today around 4:30, so I didn't know how that was going to end up. I thought I was going to have to cancel the show, but it came back on. It was only out for about 20 minutes, so I don't know what that's about. If it goes out, I apologize, and I'll just get back with y'all next week, but hopefully it'll hold up. It's been holding up so far. Leaf blamed me for slow sales yesterday. What? Hey, Leaf, you blaming me for your slow sales, bro? I know Leaf ain't blaming me for slow sales. I don't believe that, Mike. He's trying to start trouble, man. Mike's starting trouble on here. Leaf, I heard you said you bought a lot of inventory, right? Like 14, 15,000 worth of inventory. I think, what was that on Scott's live, right? I think I heard him say that. Ping G, how are you doing, Ping? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Rain was predicted for Cal, but so far it's been dry. Well, hopefully you don't get the wind. I'll take the rain over all that wind. 15,000. Say 1,500. The 1,500 or 15,000, Lee? I'm assuming 15,000. Why don't you tell us what you bought, man? give us a line item, itemized description of what you purchased, and where you're gonna be selling it at. No, I'm just messing with you, yo. Oh boy. But anyway, food, huh? I haven't sold that much food lately. I used to buy food all the time. I haven't sold food on Amazon in a while, man. I probably should start scanning food again. So, anyway, might as well get into the show. Today, I do want to talk about some of the changes I made or am making. I want to talk about, just reiterate some of the, I don't know, most of y'all that use Pirate Ship probably got Pirate Ship's email about shipping rates. So I just wanted to go over that again. And then I wanted to go over an article that was talking about Q4, and it probably will explain, a lot of what's going on, because it ain't just us, man. And then I want to kind of go off and use that to kind of springboard into some other stuff. But as far as some of the things I was just doing, he went to the opposite side of Walmart from the clearance center. I know. Hey, Mike, where did he get that idea from, huh? I wonder who he got that idea from. But no, so as far as my eBay, right? So I'm about to take down all my CDs. That's probably about, man, I don't know, like 100. Let me see. Let me see how many DVDs I got. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to change up my eBay store a little bit because I don't want to um, I don't think I'm going to be able to continue to sell the same types of things I can sell on Walmart and Amazon because eBay is just too slow and the fees and things eat too much into the profit. So I got to change up the items. Of course, I got to adapt to eBay's new thing. As far as my promoted and all of that, so I had been doing five. I ended up kind of evolving to a 5% and a 10% rate. Uh, it was the holiday, so I don't really know if that higher 10% boosted my sales or was if it was just the holidays. What I ended up doing is I deleted all my promotional ad campaigns and I put everything at a flat 5%. No dynamic, no nothing. It's a flat 5%. I'm not going higher. I'm not going lower. Maybe if an item sits for what I think is too long, I might go above that. But I'm just going to do 5%. And that's kind of where I'm gonna settle at. I feel like if I have an item that can't sell, uh promoted ad rate, even though eBay got some issues, the promoted ad rate probably isn't necessarily the problem. And honestly, if promoting that between the difference between 5% and 10% or more is the difference makes the difference in my item selling, then I just don't even want to sell that type of item. I'm not giving eBay their final value fee, the category fee, and another 10 to 15%. And I'm not saying that anybody that does is wrong. I'm just saying like I'm not doing it. So I pretty much settled on 5% with that. And that's kind of where I'm gonna arrest that. But I have 179 DVDs listed. So now once I delete those, that should take all my actives right now. Says I have 873. However, I got 307 out of stock items. So I want to take my store down too. Because right now I got the what store is it? The $60 a month store, right? So you got to think if you got 873 actives, that's going to renew every month. And I'm not sure if that 803 is including the out of stocks, but it might be. Let me see. I don't think it does. All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it down to where I'm under the 1,000 listings, so I can drop the store level because I'm not going to keep paying that amount, right? Because I am going to change the the format of the store. So I want to drop the store level, which should save me almost $30, right? And any out of stock items that I'm really because I used to just let stuff sit as out of stock. You know what I'm saying? But any out of stock items that I don't feel I'm going to replenish anytime soon, which is probably a good majority, I'm just going to end those listings. I'm not going to delete them. I'm going to end them because that way I can still sell similar off of them. They'll be in my ended listings, but they won't count towards my active listings. So the monthly amount of listings that I have that renew every 30 days will be lower than 1,000. So I should be good. But even if it don't, and I got to pay a few cents extra per month, long as that doesn't go up to the next store level, that's fine. I'm not really looking at this moment to grow my eBay store as big as I had it. I'm looking to keep it smaller and to continue to raise the average sell price of that. Also been adjusting some of my items to charging a flat rate shipping. So I created new shipping templates. I created a 3 pound, no, 2 pound, 3 pound, 4 pound, 5 pound template. and I just basically calculated how much it would cost to send from where I'm at in PA, which is pretty much far East Coast, all the way to Cali, and kind of came to a happy medium there. And so for any item that is over 2 pounds that I can't really necessarily ship in like a flat rate envelope or something like that, it's going to get that rate. Or any item like the electronic things that I sell, or like the hair product, electronic hair product items, because like the one return I got where the lady was like, it's too big for her hair. Like, you know what I mean? I had that. That was free shipping and free returns. I ain't doing that stuff no more. I'm done. I'm done with all that as far as that goes. So anything that could be returned for stuff reasons like that, and just didn't like it, or and especially if it weighs over 2 pounds. That's the main thing. Anything over 2 pounds, I'm changing the format when it comes to shipping and all of that for those things. Um, let's see. What's up, 30 Long? Good to see you. I don't think I've been seeing you in none of the other chats lately. How you doing, man? How's the business going and everything? We got items that are sold for me, and finally got a wholesaler. Oh, okay, okay. And the second one I will get back with. Nice, nice. Hey, that's hard work too, ain't it? I got one I'm looking up now, man. I'm trying to get in there. Well, it ain't really hard to get in there as far as like usually all you gotta do is just give up your business info and upload your sales tax license, and that's kind of it. But this one only wants a $750 minimum as far as the order goes. So that's not that much. Some of them want. I think the highest one I came across was about 5,000, but I found another one that's only like 1,500. Um, I didn't when I was talking to them, I didn't like how they was trying to explain their shipping, and it just seemed like they was kind of like making it to where I had to choose their shipping option. But I know because I get a lot of stuff delivered that is way too expensive, so I feel like that's why their prices were cheaper. But I don't know. Yeah, I know how it be, man. I definitely know how it be. Trust me. Find a broker, Mike, or leave. Leave. Mike said, find a broker. So listen, let me show this real quick. Let me see if I can. I know Amazon and Walmart, as far as sales goes, been great. I don't know what's going on as far as eBay. I ain't going, you know, complain about it or whatever. But hey, I got like between in the last 2 days, I got like 8 offers on eBay, and they was all so disrespectfully lowballing me, man. It was crazy, so disrespectful with the lowball offers, bro. I, I got one that was a fair offer. It was a high end it was a high end like USB to USB C cord, right? So this cord sells for about $69. I want to say I had it listed 64, 65, somewhere around there, whatever, um, with like a 10% sale. And then I got not an order, I got an offer that was for $50. So of course I'm gonna accept that. But out of all the offers I got, that was the only one that was righteous. All the other ones was like a $20 item, $4 offer, $15 item, $3 offer. Like, come on, dude. I'm not even like wasting my energy with that. I'm not gonna haggle with you. If you can't send me a respectable offer from the jump, I don't even got nothing to say to you. I ain't doing none of that. Let me see. Is this it? All right, I'm gonna try to share my screen real quick. That's not what I want to show. Let's see. All right, I'll do that. All right, so this was the email from Powership. I mean, a lot of y'all probably already know. So priority flat rate mail says discounts are back with rates up to $2.34 cheaper than promotional or than commercial pricing. But I know I've been noticing that flat rate envelopes been about $8.05, and I don't know if that's the just the holiday rate or if that's going to stay the same or not. And I want to say padded flat rates went up to about what 860 or 880 something, somewhere around there. Priority mail continues to be the best service, getting up to $16.01 cheaper for packages that weigh less than 20 pounds, depending on the size of your package and distance. It says Ground Advantage is getting 29 cents more expensive for packages that weigh less than 1 pound. So they add almost 30 cents to pretty much anything fit from, 1 to 15 ounces. And then packages that weigh 1 to 20 pounds, it's mostly staying the same rate, which is good. I really like those, man, those rates for the packages that's 2 pounds and above. Although it's getting cheaper for shipments to the farthest distances. So look, this is a really good thing. This is what I like. So even though the rates is going up, the further away something goes, the cheaper it get. And they could have did it the other way around, right? They could have made it more expensive to send it further. But media mail is going to jump again. Media mail is going to increase by 21 cents. Now, if I'm not mistaken, media mail under a pound is what, $3.92? So you add that 92, 402, 12, 13, 413. So 413 now. I know I haven't even been using media mail for some of the video games and stuff I've been selling. I've been using Ground Advantage because a lot of times it's been coming in cheaper. Only time it's not cheaper is when it's going over to the West Coast or somewhere like that. Signature confirmation is going up to $3.50. I really only use that on Walmart and only when it's like a high dollar value order, because Walmart has no seller protections for things that quote unquote don't show up. And then there's international rates. So that's kind of all I wanted to hit as far as that goes for now. Some desperate sellers accept these people's offers, so that's why they keep trying. Hey, man, listen, I don't know who's accepting these offers. Like, seriously, there's no way in hell. No way in hell. I ain't that desperate, bro. Mm-mm. I don't know who's accepting these offers, but if I got a $20 item, you send me $13, $14 offer, I'll haggle with you a little bit. I'll send you a counter. But if I got a $20 item and you send me a $4 offer, that's the end of that. And I know I could kind of stop that by doing the the automatic decline thing. What I have found in the past with that is that I have no proof of this, but for some reason, those items get absolutely no traction for me anytime I put a minimum offer amount to auto decline. If I take off the minimum offer amount, eventually I get some good offers in the sales, but it's like the item gets ghosted when I do the minimum decline. And I usually set it like at a fair price, but for whatever reason, and you can go in to the item and you can look and see offers that's been made. So you can see like any offer that was automatically declined. And a lot of times there might be one or two offers that came in that was auto decline. So you would think like, oh, maybe it ain't selling because it's auto declining a lot, but that's usually not the case. So I'd be tempted to do that, but it just don't seem to work. I got 8 on the 15. 8 on the 15. Nah. People, if I send a seller offer, I'm gonna be respectful, man. You just can't disrespect me, you know. Hey, that's more respectful than the offers I've been getting, though, Lee. It started on Sunday. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah, it started on Sunday and ended yesterday. I was kind of happy. I'm like, I see offers. You know, they was coming in. You got an offer. And I look at them like, these people. Why would I want to open myself to dealing with a crazy person for 30 days after delivery? Are you talking about returns, Maya? I think so. Oh, okay. Now I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. So they'll lowball you. Then if you accept it, then when they get the item, they're gonna find some type of problem and want a partial refund or something. Yeah, ain't nobody doing all that. Miss Lachelle, I was just wondering where you was at. How you doing tonight? Glad you decided to join us. I swear I was just thinking about you. Yeah, no, I know. I meant DVDs. DVDs. The video games I got set for Ground Advantage anyway, as far as my shipping goes. I meant DVDs. Some of the DVDs I send Ground Advantage. NPCOH is how you doing? Yeah, no, I know auto decline, but I was just saying that some reason whenever I use it, it seemed like the item will sit forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So, but now let's get into this Q4 talk, right? Because I came across an article. Now, this article is, let me see, the article was written. Where did it go? Oh, I was about to say, I hope I didn't lose this. I accidentally closed out the page earlier. So this was on zerohash.com. All right. But then Zero Hash got the let me share my screen again. Zero Hash got the article from excuse me, Alec Nables. I don't even know how to say that name. I'm gonna just go over here. Here we go. All right. So says 62% of small businesses say Q4 revenues are down from 2022, 10% worse than fall predictions. All right. Now they wrote this particular article on December 30th, and Zero Hedge had followed up with it this month. But okay, it says despite recent upbeat news about the general economy, small business owners are reporting additional revenue loss as Q4 2023 comes to an end. Earlier in autumn, 52% expected they would make less in Q4 2023 than they did a year before, with 35% of that group saying they'd earn half or less of the income they generated during Q4 2022. That's a lot. So 52% of small business owners in the country say they expected they would make less in Q4 2023 than they did the year before. That's crazy. And 35% of those say they earn half or less of the income. So not only did more than half a small business owner expect to lose out over 2022, but 35% of those did half or less the revenue than the year before, which is a lot. It says, but the reality of the situation, unfortunately, is even worse than what was predicted, right? Said due to cumulative economic challenges, 62% of small business owners now say they have had a disappointing Q4 as they are making less revenue than they did during Q4 2022. Of that group, 47% tell us they are earning half or less of what they generated in 2022. So even more small businesses were affected by declining revenues than the 6,000 plus respondents to our September-October poll. All right. A figure that's up by 10 percentage points. To put all this in perspective, you might recall that Q4 2022 was not only exactly a great time for many small businesses. This time last year, 58% said they made less in Q4 2022 than they did in Q4 2021, which is kind of expected because, that was still, you still had that COVID money and stuff. With 45% of that group reporting that they had generated half or less of what they earned in 2021. Let me go down some. All right, so lower inflation rates aren't helping most small businesses. A variety of hurdles culminating during a quarter that's supposed to be a boon to small business, but it turned out to be a letdown for many. Of the 5,040 small business owners who participated in the most recent poll, many pointed to ongoing problems that have yet to be resolved by any uptick in the economy. So they're saying despite what's happening, nothing's changing. And not only is it not changing, but it's getting worse. It's getting worse. All you got to think, this is your average mom and pop shop on the corner, machine shop down the street, small business. I can't remember how much revenue, they would consider a small business, but it's probably in the millions of dollars somewhere, or it might go by like a certain amount of employees. There was something else though that all right, here we go. So it says, look at this. It says, in fact, 37% now have at least one side job to help bring in extra revenue. And another 56% say they need a side gig to pay for extra expenses. That leaves only 7% saying that concentrating all of their efforts on a primary business they own is sufficient for the income that they require. That is crazy. Now I ain't gonna go through all of this, of course, but the main points that I wanted to bring out was one, that the majority of small business owners in the country, not only do they say that they've seen a sharp decline in revenue, but Q4 was down, and for some, it was down over half of what they had done the year before. But not only that, but I think a more concerning point is that 37% said that they needed a side job to supplement their current income because they just not making enough money. Now, I don't know. Let me stop sharing real quick. I don't know if you guys follow these things or how much. I know I seen something about the Fed wanting to start this lowering interest rates, and they was going to maybe do it 3 times, but who knows how that's going to go. And I've heard different people talk about whether or not they should even start lowering rates anytime soon or not. And the reason is, a lot of people think there's still a problem with inflation, which of course there is. A lot of people think that if you start lowering rates too soon, then people who are already in debt and already having problems, that could exacerbate their situation, because what people are going to do if it's easier to get more money or easier to get access to credit, right? Usually they're going to probably try to get more credit. I mean, the only people that's really benefiting right now is the people who already, got money. But my point in bringing this out is that we are small business owners. So if businesses, if your regular brick and mortar, or let's just say traditional type of business is having these issues, then what type of issues are the majority of resellers facing? I mean, I wish we could do a poll and get the numbers and find out how many resellers either had to go back to work or had to get another job or something. And this ain't even saying that there's anything wrong with that. At the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. But it does beg the question. I know we see a lot of I've seen a lot of videos in the reselling space on YouTube that are very optimistic about this year of 2024. Which is fine, It's good to be optimistic, right? But when you have numbers are numbers and the numbers don't lie. And the reality of the situation is that we have been in decline economically as a country, and businesses that are much larger than ours, that probably do a lot more revenue than us, are struggling. So what does that mean for us? I know for me personally, again, whether it goes back to what I was just saying about doing what I was doing with eBay, reevaluating everything. I'm doing that for my whole business. Anything that I don't need, anything that I don't need to be paying for, just bring my spending under control. Because the fact of the matter is this: while I am confident in my own abilities and things like that, I'm not really that confident in the strength of consumer buying power as we go further into this year. I'm sure people will still buy stuff. I'm sure of that. And then the question is, what type of stuff? If the buying power of the consumer is continually going to be eroded throughout the course of the year, then that's going to, shrink down what the things that they'll be willing to spend that money on, because their dollar is not going to be going as far, which may explain the ridiculously low ball offers. Maybe the people ain't being jerks. Maybe they just like, look, man, I really want this, but all I got is $5. Will you take my last $5? No, buddy, I can't. But I mean, could be a sign, man. It could be a sign. And so I think it's important that we pay attention to these things. There's a few channels that kind of go into these types of issues as far as reselling go, but I think it's one of the perspectives that's kind of lacking sometimes when it comes to reseller content, because it's not just about what type of items you got, or where you're going to go thrift at, or where you're going to go, do some RA at, or what platforms we selling on. But there's more important things, because all of that will not matter if you don't understand the environment that we are currently selling in, right? And the type of hurdles that we may be faced with. Because if you don't understand, okay, it could get better or it could get worse before it get better. If you don't understand that, then you won't prepare for that worst part, right? You won't rein in your spending. You won't make cuts on things that you maybe usually paid for, but now you say no. You won't put up a rainy day fund. You won't put up savings to get you through some bad months. You won't do that because you're not looking at the landscape. You're not looking at the full picture. And so you'll just keep going business as usual, but then things will start slowing down and you'll be wondering why. But a lot of times, by the time you really figure it out, it might be too late for your business. Again, but though, let's go back to what they was talking about these small business owners having to get side jobs. That's crazy, right? So what it said 37% now have at least one job to help bring in extra revenue. And another 56% say they need a side gig to pay for extra expenses. That leaves only 7% saying that concentrating all of their efforts on a primary business they own is sufficient income. It's sufficient for the income they require. 7%. And now their sample size was what, 6,000 business owners? But I feel like that's a fairly decent sample size. But that's rough, man. Can you imagine like putting you all into something and it still ain't enough? And of course, we don't know the circumstances of each particular business, but that just reiterates the importance of preparing, being prepared, being prepared. I'm still looking to buy more inventory, but I'm still holding off because I still got things I need to get up first. As far as like a big purchase, I have purchase inventory, but I haven't I ain't like Leaf yet. I ain't spent 12, 15,000 yet. Not yet, Leaf. Not yet. But I plan on doing it. Let me check the chat real quick. Miss Lachey is waking up from a nap. Oh, man, I probably should have took me a nap earlier. Let me see. Some buyers don't like haggling. For me, I hate haggling, and others, I only buy it now. Yeah, me too, for the most part. Leave 2022 was ugly for you, huh? I mean, this year wasn't like I was down below what I wanted to do, but it wasn't like I wouldn't say it was bad. I'm pretty good with preparing for, negative eventualities kind of thing. So if it did get rough, I feel like I'll be okay. This represents me. Q4 2022 was great. Q3 sucked. Q3 didn't even seem like Q3 this, or Q4 didn't even seem like Q4 for the most part this year, huh? Not to me anyway. I mean, sales was like okay, but it wasn't exactly like last year. This might be a controversial take. I think free returns are killing small businesses. It is. I mean, I still do some free returns on things, but I mean, if you sell on Amazon, you ain't got no choice. Amazon, they going. I got an email folder that I created just for like email or returns from Amazon emails. I used to look at that thing sometimes. I don't even look at it no more. Just the reasons are just ridiculous, man. Reasons are just ridiculous. But it's part of it, man. Saw a bunch of videos about free returns on Amazon and explains why I never shop on Amazon. Everything is grossly overpriced there. People who never return like me are subsidized. I might have seen the same video. I don't know exactly which one you're talking about, but I was just watching something similar the other day. Q4 was almost 40K. Yeah, Leaf. But I was hoping to do closer to 50, but it wasn't nowhere near close to that. As far as for me. I saw articles about 2023 and return rates for retailers are 25 to 30% and up to 40% for clothing. That's insane. And a lot of that stuff isn't being resold, it's going in the trash. Well, yeah. A lot of and like I said about that video, I saw the same video or something similar where they was talking about a lot of retailers and even Amazon moving away from the free return model. I think my personal opinion is if it's a problem that came from your end as the seller, it should be a free return, right? If it's something with the buyer, it should be buyer pays the return, right? So I'm gonna be looking into doing. I've been changing some of my eBay listings to not having free returns. I'm gonna be looking into maybe all of them before the year's out, but I ain't 100% sure. We'll see. It just depends on the item. And I honestly feel like some items I'm just gonna be like, keep it. I don't even want it back. Here's the refund and just keep it. I don't know. We'll see. I think that happened in 2022, and that segment has already stopped spending. Hey Scott, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Correct, true people are missing the effects of the economy and not running a business either. This is a terrible combination. Listening and sad. Saban just retired. I know. I saw that. Saban's gone, man. I saw that. The GOAT. I ain't an Alabama fan, Bear, but I'm a Big Ten. I'm a Penn State fan, but Big Ten. So, I was happy when Michigan won. But I do like Alabama, too. It's going to be interesting to see what happened to y'all. I feel like a lot of y'all success was because of him. So we'll see. And then what? Georgia's coach, he was under his tutelage, right? So maybe he got some more guys there that have been kind of like waiting in the wings, Scott's using his books to keep him from being depressed about that. It wasn't a bad game. They had opportunities to win that game, though. It was they had opportunities, so they really can't blame nobody but themselves for losing that one. That was a heartbreaker. My grandson graduated from there. We are Penn State. I know that's right. I don't know about James Franklin though, man. He seemed like a mid coach. I feel like ain't no creativity there. Ain't no creativity offensively, man. And we lost our defensive coordinator, so who knows how this is going to turn out next year. I ain't sold on Drew Aller yet either. So we'll see how next year go. Then we got 3 more teams coming into the Big Ten. What is it? We got USC, Oregon, Washington. I don't know if it's UCLA, UNLV, one of them. So it's like 4 teams coming in. Should be exciting though. I think we'll make the playoff with the 12-team playoff. We'll definitely make the playoff for sure. So many resellers lack financial management skills. We got to do better. Listen, you know what, Ms. Lachey, that is right. And that just, brings me to something else. It's just, I was thinking about the channel, things like that. That's just kind of where I'm focusing my content. I'll talk about, a diversity of things, but I feel like for the longest time in reselling YouTube, right, it's just been like, to quote Arena Vision, the drag and brag, and just the seemingly glorious aspects of it. But if that's all you know, then none of it is sustainable. If that's all you know, and you know that it's a problem because all you have to do is read comments and videos or go through groups, right? So people lack the basic fundamentals when it comes to running a small business. And like they were saying on Scott's channel earlier, Bitter Picker, it's the difference between running a business and having a hobby. But at the same time, when you got a hobby, you're not trying to lose money. If you're doing this as a hobby, you're not trying to lose money. You want it to be as profitable as possible. Even if you're just doing it for fun, maybe you're a collector and you like collecting certain things and selling them. Still, you ain't doing it for your health, right? You ain't doing it just because you need to get your steps in on your Fitbit. You want to make a couple dollars. But then what do you do with the money? There's a lot that goes into it, guys. A lot that goes into it. And one of the main things is having something set. So for instance, we went over the Profit First book. Now I had already been doing the account thing before Profit First. I got 4 accounts. I got personal account. I have a business account set up under my LLC. I have the checking account that I had before the business account, but I decided to keep it. And then I have a money market account. So, of course, my personal account is my personal account. The business account I set up because I was talking to the banker, and it just, when it comes to doing, building business credit and other things like that. And I was asking them about eventually if I bought a house, how would they want to see me, how I receive my revenue since I'm self-employed, so on and so forth. And he was just like, gave me some tips. So I set up the business account, checking account. So when I do shift money from my business to me, it goes through the business account. The other checking account that I had before my business account, I keep probably about 40% of my cash on hand in. All right. I don't keep a large percentage in the business checking account. Then in the money market account, I keep approximately 50% or so of all my cash on hand in there. That started off at I want to say a promo rate of 5% for 25,000, right? And then when you, after the 5%, I want to say 6 months, it went down to 3, it goes down to 3%. So all you had to do was start off with 25. What else did he tell me? There was something else. I don't know. There was something else, but I don't know. But it's about 35 in there right now that I keep in there. I made probably about $300 or so in interest, and I just got this account, this particular one, last year, towards the end. I got to check that. I don't want to lie to y'all about the interest part, but I want to say it was close to about 300. It might have been more. somewhere around there. And that wasn't even a half a year worth of interest. So my thinking behind that part was, why am I having my money just sitting here doing nothing as far as the checking account goes, right? It's not doing nothing. It's not collecting no interest. It's not doing nothing. So and then I was thinking, I said, well, damn, I might just put all my money in the money market. And then when I need it for my business, or maybe not all of it, but maybe I'll keep like a certain operating amount in the regular checking account because I have recurring things that, pull from it. So I don't want to take it all out, but I want to put more into the money market account. So that might be something I look into going to this year. My whole point in saying that was I am pretty much making myself not only ready for like any problems if the economy goes bad or if I need some extra money or anything like that, but I need my dollars. I need my employees because my dollars are my employees. I need them to be working for me even when they just sitting around. And when they just sitting there, a checking account, they ain't working. No, they ain't working. So, it's one of the things I do. But going back to the fundamental business stuff, people don't understand that. People don't have their rainy day funds. People don't understand the importance of not spending everything as soon as it comes in and paying yourself first, pay your business for however you want to put it. However you want to put it. It can't just be money in and money out, though, because you're going to find yourself in a really bad situation eventually. Eventually, trust me. I rarely get eBay returns. I don't get that many eBay returns either, Lee. Walmart's a whole different story. They are down. They are down. I feel like I'm at, let me see. Where am I at with returns on Walmart? I usually stay around like 2%. My Amazon returns, I don't even want to look at those. No, they probably ain't that high. I would say across all platforms, I gotta, for the most part, I'm probably under 2% if you was to like take them all together and put them all together, But when my accountant get done with everything, I'll know for sure what my return percentage is because he puts all those numbers in. All right, so my Walmart return is exactly 2% right now. 90 days, 2%. So it ain't that bad. eBay's under 1%, and I don't even know where Amazon's at. I haven't looked at it. But I'm going to look and see what my total return rate was when all the numbers is put in. That's good. I mean, on eBay, if you get a return, you're obviously going to resell the item. So that's not really what I'm talking about, right? And even some of those like Walmart returns and stuff I get, they're some of them ain't even open or nothing. So I can just list them or relist them. And then for some of the stuff, I keep a box. I put damaged items and damaged makeup, and I'll put some of the returns in there, and then I'll throw it up on Marketplace for like 10 or 20 bucks. I got this one lady, she buys them all of me. As soon as I list it, she'll come get it. How can I lose when I sell gold bars for $1,200? Half price at a spot, bad thing. I will call. I wish. Yeah, where you get those gold bars from, Leaf? That's what I want to know. Is that them gold bars from China? That's them gold bars from China. On my last return, a buyer bent the item. I even Franken boxed it to make the box longer. I called CS to see if I could refund 50% since the buyer sent it back bent, and I can't relist it. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Some people are just jerks, man. Some people are just jerks. I've had things returned where I know for a fact the buyer over damaged the item on purpose. Just cause, like, I can't even put myself in that mindset to even understand why somebody does that. It's almost like the trolls on YouTube or the internet and people that go out of their way. Like, I can't understand that mindset, and I feel like people like that got some they got some mental health issues. Buyer paid in full, so I didn't have to. And that's good. I had a bad experience with a return where the buyer swapped my item with other sellers. Such a pain to get sorted. I never had a swap out. Never had a swap out. Stupid that I have to fight with them when I message the other seller. Oh, I had a situation. eBay. This is last week. So I had a buyer put in a return for a game. He said the cover, he didn't like the cover because it was a copy, which I said in the listing that it was a copy. It was a former rental, whatever. So I'm like, all right, man, you can return it because I hope you don't think I'm about to give you a partial refund. I said you can return it. So then he put in for the return. So boom, I left it alone, right? I'm like, all right, it says waiting for buyer to ship. Next thing you know, I get an email a couple days ago or so from eBay talking about the case was closed and they decided in the buyer's favor and they taking the money out my account and I got a defect. They said I didn't respond to the return. Oh man. So apparently this guy he contacted eBay, said I never responded, blah, blah, blah. They closed the return. So then now it's hard to get in touch with eBay. So I'm trying to do the little things and trick the chat bot to get the number. Can't do none of that. So I got to do it the old fashioned way and just appeal it and send an email. But eBay ended up siding in my favor and changing it. They said, oh, now we see that you never had a chance to respond. Of course I didn't. What do you mean, man? Do y'all not read this stuff before you open the case? How you open the case, close the case, and not see that I didn't? Like, come on, man. So they ended up giving me my money back, and they took the defect off. eBay's funny sometimes, man. I think it was an accidental swap out. The buyer opened 2 returns the same day and put the label on the other item. That's possible. That's possible. Yeah, I don't get a lot of swap outs. I think swap outs probably happen more often in categories like electronics, higher end stuff, things like that. Listen, if you want to swap out a makeup palette or some lipstick, I don't even care. 9 times out of 10 is going in the garbage if it come back anyway. So I had to go through the defect nonsense too over this return. I have to have eBay on Facebook remove the defect. I feel like they need to. I mean, I understand why they're making it harder to contact them because you got a lot of people that like to cry and whine and complain and probably call. I can only imagine the petty calls that eBay get from some sellers or was getting from some sellers. I could only imagine. So I don't blame them for not wanting. What's up, Scott? Dumpster Diver Dad. I ain't even see you there. What's going on, bro? I hope you're doing good. But man, I don't blame them for making it difficult, but still, for some things, you still should be able to. At least, I mean, in Amazon, there's a number that says "Call me now," like or not a number, but a link. So if you got an issue with your account, you can hit that link, and you usually get a call. Don't mean you're gonna get done what you want done, but there's a call. But listen, y'all. Main point of the show is this. If you had slow sales for Q4, everybody has slow sales for Q4. Not everybody. I take that back. Not everybody. But in the business world, a lot of businesses experience slower sales over last year. Not only that, it's bad enough for a lot of small business owners that they that they have to go out and get another job or a side hustle or do something to supplement. So you need to pay attention to these things, okay? Pay attention to your business. Pay attention to your numbers. If you've never been a numbers person, then don't keep using that as an excuse. You have to learn at least the basics. Look at what you're selling and ask yourself, is this going to sustain your business? Look at what you spend money on. Ask yourself, do I need this? Is this something that I need to continue to put my funds into? If all you have is one account, split that up into 2 accounts. At least have a savings account and determine a percentage that you're going to move to that savings account every time you have money come in, come hell or high water. and don't touch it. I have a stash account. I use the Stash app. I've been putting money in that thing for years, but I'm about to take all of that out and I'm gonna move that to the money market account because I feel like the percentage I get for the money market account is more than what I'm making off the stocks in the stash account. Even though the stocks is doing good, but I feel like over time with that compound interest on the money market account, it's gonna bring me back more money. So I'm gonna move that money over there. And so I kind of keep everything segregated like that. And my main thing is this: if my dollars are not being put to use and they're sitting, then how can I get them to make more money? And the only other way that I can come up with that is to have, or you can check and see if you can get a high yield savings account. So whether it's a money market account, high yield savings account, you shouldn't just have money sitting in a checking account, period. Unless it's just a few. Like that's one of the reasons why I said I don't keep a large amount in my business checking account because it don't make me no money doing that. So I only move a certain amount there, and that's the same thing I'm going to do with that other checking account. Is I'm going to move the majority of that to the money market because it's not making me anything, but I just need to keep enough in there to cover like all my little recurring expenses. And if I need to make a purchase, because, and that's the good thing too, is the money market account is liquid. So I can move the money and get it like right now. And that's another reason why I wanted to get the money from the stash account. Because with stash, you got to sell the stock. It's going to take about a week to get your money out. So I don't want that. I want to have my cash be as liquid as possible, but I also still want it to be able to be working for me when I'm not putting it to use to buy inventory and things like that. All right, if that makes sense. Heck, if I can go through this year and make a couple $1,000s just on interest alone, compound interest throughout the course of the year, that's a win, man. That's a win. So like you got to think outside the box. Or you might be one of the people who find yourself, not that there's anything wrong with it, but you might find yourself having to supplement your income doing other things. Which brings me to my final point before we get out of here, is that it doesn't have to just be. I was listening to something and somebody was, I want to say, I don't know if any of you guys ever listened to the Pure Hustle podcast. I can't think of those guys' name, but really, check it out. It's a reselling podcast. But check them out. All right. I don't know if this thing about to go out or what. But anyway, check them out. They got a lot of good content. I lost my train of thought. Damn. Shit. Man. Anyway, they was talking about this same thing. People. Okay. Is it viable today for people? Is it a viable option for people to have only eBay? Now, they didn't bring up Amazon or the other platforms for this. They said for people to have eBay as their only source of income. Like, is that, how like years ago, not even years ago, like a few years ago, a couple years ago, it was the thing, right? You could sell on eBay and you could make a lot of money. But how is that today with all the things happening? And of course, you can still make a full-time income on eBay. I'm not saying you can't, but has that reality been oversold lately on YouTube? Like, what is the reality of full-time? Like, what does that mean, full-time reseller or eBay seller, right? That was just something that was the kind of thought-provoking. You know what I mean? Just what type, and it just made me think about the type of content that I want to make. Like, I don't want to give anybody any unrealistic expectations. And so that's why a lot of times I don't even kind of like go into certain categories or of topics, whatever. But eBay does not have to be like, it's not necessarily a glorious thing to say you're a full-time reseller or anything. Like, just do what you like, do what you love, understand it to as much as you can. Put your all into it as far as like understanding the business end of it, understanding the product end of it, understanding the customer end of it, because a lot of us need to get more in tune with our customers. And yeah, we can say the Amazons or eBay's customers, but when they buy from you, that's your customer. That is your customer. And from the moment they hit the buy button until 30 days after purchase, it's your obligation to give that customer the best experience possible. That is your obligation as a seller, man. And so I feel like if we take these things serious enough, we can be successful. But I think if you lack and you continue to lack in these areas of understanding how your business works, of understanding how your numbers work, of not taking the customers as serious, of thinking that it's all eBay, or looking at the how these platforms evolve and thinking that because they come up with these obstacles, or I wouldn't even say obstacles, because they come up with these changes, that they are obstacles that are insurmountable, or they've gone one step too far now by doing it's not going to change. It's never going to change, right? There's always going to be something. But as an entrepreneur, as someone who wants to just sell online, here's the one thing that's constant: change. Change is constant, man. And in the words of Bruce Lee, be like water. You got to be like water, man. He said water crashes, it flows. You can pour it in a cube, it'll take the shape of that. You can pour it in a cylinder, it'll take the shape of that. It's formless. It's how you got to be as a reseller, man. Most successful resellers will probably, in my opinion, be those who are the best at adaptation, of adapting to the platforms, adapting to the environment, keeping their mind on what's going on, not just in the reselling world, but especially what's going on in the overall business world in general, the economy, what's happening with the economy, what's going on with laws. Like, you got California passing laws saying if you a gig worker now, they want to make them employees instead of contractors. That's not good. There's nothing good about that. I mean, I don't think it'll happen, but like, if you live in a state like California, that's not good. They want to make restaurant the minimum wage $20 an hour for restaurant workers, fast food workers. Like, come on, man. That's not good. And people are like, yay, we deserve. But what they don't realize, you're not going to have a job, buddy. You're not. If Pizza Hut has to pay you $20 an hour, you're not going to have a job. And they're just going to speed up the automation process. So, I mean, when we look at reselling, you got to take these things into consideration too. Now, it's bad over there in Cali. And for all my Cali people out there, I'm sorry, man, but I'm going to pray for y'all. But like, how long is it before those things start going across the state in one form or another, right? In one form or another. And so when you pay attention to things, or the fact that eBay is falling behind when it comes to online e-commerce market share. Amazon is Amazon. They're still at the top. Walmart has overtaken eBay, and Walmart is on Amazon's heels as far as like what their vision is for their platform in the future in e-commerce. So where do you want to be as a reseller? What side do you want to be on? I mean, it's up to you to decide, man. But dumpster. Hey, Scott, you love Cali? Listen, I told y'all I pray for y'all, but man, tell y'all, Gavin Newsom for you. let's play McDonald's workers $20 an hour. Yeah, we'll see how far that go. People gonna be losing jobs. Y'all gonna be having machines flipping burgers over there in a minute. They ain't gonna be doing nothing but drive-through. I'm telling you. You're gonna have like 2 people running a restaurant. The rest is gonna be machines and a drive-through. You ain't even gonna be able to go inside the store. The eBay search depends on its full-time income. Everything eBay does. Yeah, Maya. I mean, it is. But the thing is, we don't need to depend on any of this stuff that's full-time. Do what you gotta do for you and your family. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to bring that to y'all, man, in today's show. Got another show for y'all next weekend. I'm going to try to get some guests on, talk to some people, because I am interested in some other people's opinions about things. So I really, really appreciate everyone for stopping in. They're going to have Tesla robots. I'm telling you, they are, Scott. They are. If you've seen some of the videos right here on YouTube about Amazon's automation process, they got robots right now that move the stuff in the factories. They got robots right now that cut the boxes down to make them the exact. It's all AI, bro. The reporter asked the one guy, so what about the job? He tried to use that, euphemistic verbiage where like, oh, people aren't going to lose jobs. We're creating other types of jobs. He didn't say more jobs, other types of, well, what other types of jobs is that? Well, it's going to be jobs that require more skill and more knowledge. Listen, in my opinion, somebody flipping a burger don't deserve $20 an hour to flip a freaking burger, man. I don't care what you say, right? Jobs like that are for kids and maybe like older people trying to supplement income or somebody going like through a bridge type of job. As an adult, if you're an able-bodied adult with all your faculties, it's your responsibility to make sure you got skills that's going to bring value to some type of market in one way or another. Now, you should not be, as an able-bodied, full faculty adult, be dependent on a fast food restaurant for your whole income. I don't know. Unless you like the general manager or something, that's different. Or a manager, but like you the fry guy or the no, come on, man. Mm-mm. But Amazon automating everything, and that's what they mean when they say, well, we're creating other jobs. Well, what's those other jobs? Look, we're gonna get rid of a majority of people on this floor. We don't need them standing around on their phone and doing this and that. Robots don't need a break. Robots don't got to go to the bathroom. Robots ain't gonna steal. Robots ain't gonna get hurt. Robots ain't gonna try to create a union, right? Like, man, listen, it's gonna get crazy, man. It's gonna get crazy. Hey, Junke, I hope I said that right. I feel the same way about my kids, man. I feel the same way about my kids. That's why I'm trying my best to prepare them, but you know how that go. But anyway, y'all, it's been a little bit over an hour. I appreciate y'all spending time with me tonight. We'll see y'all next week, God willing. Make it through another week with another show for y'all. If y'all got any specific things y'all would like me to talk about, could always drop it down in the comments below. And that's kind of how I want to do the shows. I want to have like a format, a show card. I don't mind talking about other things or going off on tangents, but I at least want to have an outline that has specific types of information that I can bring to y'all, and hopefully it'll be in some way help you be not only just a better reseller, a better person, and to run a better business, and just overall help you grow as an individual. So ain't no 3-hour show, Scott. We ain't doing 3 hours, bro. In fact, we got 1 minute and 8 seconds, and I'm signing off, man. Y'all have a good night.